Hi, this is Trepacer. Welcome to Trepacer's Saturday Horror Reviews. I believe it's episode 24. And of course, I'm going with a cult classic in a way. A movie that, I'm trying to think how old was I when I saw this when it first came out. I was about 22, I guess, when this came out. Anyway, this is a kind of a cult movie, and I'm a big, Universal horror, Monster fan. So this is sort of a kind of a loving tribute to it. Okay, and this came out in the 80s, of course, 1987, in fact. And I'm, of course, talking about 1987's The Monster Squad. Okay, this is the 20th anniversary Blu-ray. Okay, and like I said, this is a cult movie. This because because it's monsters and it's kids, and it's kind of in the tradition of kind of Goonies in a way, and so which is always a good thing. Okay, um, and the basic plot of this is I think the movie starts off with they give you a little prologue and saying that Van Helsing came trying to stop all monsters, stop Dracula and stuff, and of course by reciting a ritual and having this amulet and it's supposed to open up a portal and send the monsters, send the monsters through oblivion. I think, or through a black hole. Let's put it that way, and suck them through and get rid of them forever. But of course, in the beginning of the movie, that absolutely fails because part of the ritual is that they have supposed to have a virgin repeat the lines and stuff. But of course, if the girl isn't the virgin, it doesn't work. Okay, and it fails, and then fast forward 100 years later, and then you have this monster squad made up of 12-year-old Sean Crenshaw and his best friend Patrick. They're definitely monster fans. Okay, and you can see on the beginning of the movie, like I said, they're getting yelled at in the principal's office for constantly drawing monsters and talking about monsters and stuff, of course, and the principal is chewing them out, of course. And then later you see that they're part of this group called the Monster Squad, along with their friend Horace, who's nicknamed the Fat Kid, and you even see in the beginning of the movie he gets kind of picked on by these two bullies, of course, until this tough guy Rudy comes to his aid. Okay, and then also you have Sean's little sister Phoebe, who's she's sort of like a tag along, and then of course they discover that actually Sean is the one that kind of discovers because his father's a cop, and you can tell his parents are having their issues, with the father being, constantly at work, and he's saying, "Listen, I'm a cop. You married me. This is what I am," of course. But he overhears, his father. There's a guy at the station ranting and raving, saying, "Lock me up. I'm aware of lock me up. Lock me up." Okay. And then, of course, you see Dracula actually coming on a plane that's traveling. You see when a guy hears a noise of one of the pilots, you actually see Dracula in all his glory. Okay, and he basically Dracula, played by Duncan Rieger in this movie. He's coming together. He's getting the Gill Man together, the Wolf Man, the Mummy, and the Frankenstein monster. Okay, their plan, of course, or his plan, particularly Dracula, is to get that amulet, and that's supposed to give them the power to rule over the world. Okay, so they have to find this amulet to do that. Of course, and part of the key to that is getting also Van Helsing's diary. Okay, which Dracula sends the Frankenstein monster to get it from the little kids, of course. But in the twist of the story, and one of the best parts of this movie that I love, they send Frankenstein. He sends Frankenstein monster to get it, and he tells them basically to kill the kids if they resist. Frankenstein monster, of course, played by Tom Noonan. He befriends little Phoebe. Who's like I said, she's a little tag along who the kids, the bigger kids ignore, but she meets in a classic homage to obviously to Frankenstein, the original Frankenstein. You see her by the water, tossing the flowers, and when the Frankenstein monster, walks up to her, and of course, instead of the tragedy in the original, she actually becomes friends with him, and she actually teaches him to talk, and she introduces him to, the fellow Monster Squad members, and of course they become, good friends, and he, they teach him words and stuff, and they basically hang out. And also, meanwhile, like I said, little Sean gets the Van Helsing diary. His mother, I think, they found it in like in a house sale or something, but it's in German, and they get this scary German guy that lives next door in a creepy house. They actually befriend him, and he actually translates the diary for them and tells them about the amulet and stuff, and about the power to of evil, gets the amulet and all this stuff. They'll rule the world and all this other stuff. But the main thrust of the movie is you have this monster squad, nobody believing, of course, the adults not believing, but of course the kids believing, and they go in search of the amulet themselves. And of course, at the same time, like I said, Dracula's trying to find it. And then you also have, like I said, the reluctant werewolf. You can see the guy who plays the werewolf, when he's, Dracula, actually, when the full moon is not risen, he has him tied up, and of course, supposedly, with a bunch of pills in him to keep him, docile. But of course, he doesn't, and that leads to one of the greatest scenes that I've, ever seen in one of the horror movies, where basically the Wolfman is trying to, the reluctant Wolfman is trying to warn, Sean's father, that, the cop, that, Dracula's going to come, and he's going to kill your kid. He's coming for the diary, he's going to kill your kid. And of course, he transforms at the same time and bursts out of the phone booth. Okay, and like I said, I guess when he's fully Wolfman, he's full on evil, I guess, and he's on Dracula's side. And it's a fun movie because, like I said, the little kids, and it definitely has an 80s vibe to it. Okay, and part of of course, to do the ritual to send the monsters back, of course, involving a virgin. You have to get a virgin, of course, and they get one of the little friends, his sister, that of course that that Rudy has a total crush on. He gets his hot sister, Patrick's sister, little Patrick, his sister, who's he basically spies on when they're in the clubhouse, the monster squad, and he tries to recruit her to be the virgin that they need to read the incantation from the diary, to open up the portal to send the monsters back. And like I said, it's a fun movie because the monster, Dracula, the guy who plays Dracula, Duncan Rader, he is absolutely fantastic as Dracula. He plays it straight and has a great sense of of regal horrorness. He's fantastic as Dracula, and I love Tom Noonan as the Frankenstein monster. He's just fun, and I love his interaction with the little kids, especially Phoebe. Okay, and the scene towards the end with him and Phoebe is just makes this big smile on your face. And like I said, they teach him words and stuff, and it's great. And the monsters, they're basically the monster, Dracula's the main villain. Yeah, the monsters are just henchmen going along. The mummy and the Wolfman when he's fully the Wolfman, and of course, and you got the Gill Man, of course, which is always good to see the Gill Man. Okay, and it's just a fun movie. Just like I said, again, to stop Dracula from getting that amulet and ruling the world. Of course, the monster squad is the only thing that stands between them. Okay, like I said, at first, of course, the cops don't believe them, of course, until the monsters start attacking, and they have this great showdown at the end, which is absolutely fantastic. And this is, like I said, it's a cult movie because it's a fun movie. The songs are completely dated in this movie, but it's a fantastic movie, a great, totally entertaining movie. And like I said, you could show this. This is a good movie that kids and parents, I think, can bond with, because you have the parents' issues in this. The father, Sean's father and mother, who's kind of not getting along because of his hours going to work and all that stuff. And then you have the kids that are in their own world with the monster squad and stuff, and trying to fit in and be cool and hip, and then of course trying to save the world at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna give Monster Squad, which it's been a while since I've seen this, and so it's good to revisit this. I'm gonna give Monster Squad, according to my new rating system. It's definitely a 7, which is above average. Now 8 is really good on my list, so I'm gonna give it an 8, just because I know it's a cult movie, but besides the date, what was I say, if you take out the kind of the songs off the, but it's a fun movie. It's just the little kids battling Dracula, like I said. And the good thing about this is, like I said, the monsters, they treat the monsters seriously, which is was always my problem with Van Helsing, that they it was too jokey in Van Helsing with the monsters. This movie, sure, the monsters, you have that Frankenstein monsters going soft with the little kids, but I love that part with him being on the kids' side and stuff. But Dracula, the actor who plays Dracula, he's totally serious and he's kicking ass and taking names. And these kids are and I like Sean. He's fearless. The little kid who's in charge. He's fearless. So I'm gonna give Monster Squad an 8 out of 10. That's how much I enjoy it. And I'm a little biased because I love monsters. So that's what going to push it up to an 8 for me at least. Anyway, let me know what you think of Monster Squad. Feel free to leave comments down below, and if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. I'll also upload this on my on the Horoscope 101 channel as well. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care.